Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke, owner of Call Clutter Fairy Home Organizing, and today I have one of my favorites. I am always finding these cabinet doors. I don't know how, I don't know why I'm so drawn to them, but I swear every time I see one I get giddy with excitement. So the other day I found this one being thrown away. And literally the second I saw it, I knew exactly what I was going to do to it. So let me show you what I did. The very first thing I needed to do was clean this. So I wiped it down really well. And then I got out some paint that I got this at Lowe's. It was an oops, and I don't know what the color actually is, but here's the item number. I've been meaning to go back and find out if it's a legitimate color or not because I love this color. I applied one solid coat to the whole thing, and I want a little bit of distressing to it, so I'm just making sure that it's completely covered. I'm okay if there's some spots that are more sheer than others because I am going to go through and take off a little bit of the paint here and there. It was a nice warm day here in Southern California. I set it outside for a little bit and let the sun completely dry it. I only let it sit out for about 20 minutes. While it was out, I applied the first coat of chalk paint, and I apologize for not showing that. But once it was dry in the sun, I applied a second coat. I love chalk paint because it truly does dry very, very quickly. I got these little brackets from the Dollar Tree and I painted them black on one side. You get 4 to a pack, and I thought they had kind of that industrial farmhouse look. So I just used a little bit of the gel glue from the Dollar Tree and I adhered them. And because of the coating, this is a high sheen paint, it gave a nice solid surface for this to attach to, so it was super easy to do. I used the chalk paint can to just hold it down and make sure it had a good contact point. I then got on my second one, and while I spray painted these, I spray painted the basket that I'm going to be attaching to this, so it's outside drying right now. And I make sure to wipe off any of the excess gel as well. Now I'm going to mark where the holes for my basket go. Now this was just an inexpensive basket I got from Daiso. It was actually neon pink. So I spray painted it black, and my plan is to bend the hook so it's straight and can go through these holes. So I just got my drill bits out. I made sure that the drill size was about the same as the hook, and I just put 2 holes into the cabinet so that I can slip the hooks through this. I can slip the holes through these. And then I noticed while I was so close, there were a couple more spots that were sheer with the chalk paint. Chalk paint usually takes 2 to 3 coats, so if you're taking on a project like this, be aware. And these were not my snacks. This was my youngest. She was in keeping me company and she snuck in. So between each coat, I would just set this out in the sun, and I promise you guys, the chalk paint dried within about 10 minutes. It was amazing. And I forgot to show me slipping in, but I just took the hooks and unbent them and slipped them right through the hole. It really wasn't any more difficult than that, and I added a couple of drops of glue on the back just to make sure that it wouldn't slide out. Then I took a little bit of my paint and touched up where the drill took off some of the pretty paint and the black. Now this is the most important step if you're working with a project with chalk paint. You must prep the chalkboard. So get a flat piece of chalk, and you need to completely cover the entire surface with chalk. Think about what you do to a cast iron pan, or if you have a cooking stone, you have to prep it and cure it first. That's what you have to do with a chalkboard as well. So I'm going to completely cover the entire area with chalk. And then I'm just going to get a paper towel, but if you have an actual eraser, that will work too. And I'm just going to kind of buff it in so that the entire surface of the chalkboard gets covered with chalk. This gives it that great authentic chalkboard appearance. And now I'm actually ready to write on it, and it will glide on easily, and it won't leave the ghost imprint that often happens if you don't cure the board first and you just write on it and then wipe it off. And here it is, all finished. I don't know if you noticed, but this was the handle from when I made that tiered cart, the Kirkland cart, a few weeks ago. I'm using it as my little chalk holder. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I really like the industrial farmhouse look. But the paint color really gives it kind of a different feel than all the farmhouse white that I have. Honestly, I don't know why I find these all of the time, but I do. So I haven't even had to go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I've mentioned before, I go into the hardware stores and I go where they're selling the custom cabinets, and I just ask if they have discontinued samples that are being thrown away. And 90% of the time, they have a stack. A couple of times I've gone into the actual cabinet stores, the actual name brands, and I ask them. They're a little bit less likely to give me the door samples, but Lowe's and Home Depot, they're so happy to get rid of them and not put them in a landfill. And I make them into signs, shelves, custom gifts. So I love this one. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, and I'm really hoping I do find a great spot for it because I love it. But if I don't, then I'm going to go ahead and sell it on Nextdoor or Marketplace through Facebook because I think it's a really cool item. So leave me a comment below if this is something that you would remake. Also, let me know, have you gone looking for cabinet doors yet? I would love to see what you're finding and what you're turning them into, so please share that. That's all I have for today. Please remember to give this video a like and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in just a few days. Bye.